Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let me introduce to you the expert. Vegan Hannibal from the Odin clan. Shout out to you guys. Well, he's not quite an expert. He's two marked. But he is the expert in the AMX 12T. And that will be apparent to you by the time this video is over. Sort of a strange name, Vegan Hannibal. Because I can assure you that Hannibal was not a vegan. He consumed some meat products. Animal products, I guess. Oh! Hannibal he's detected. He doesn't give a shit. That doesn't seem too expertishness to me. That was not expertly done. You got greedy. Oh! He realizes that was just a blind shot. That was a blind... He knew. Did you see that? Well, he's an expert. You got greedy and you lost almost all your HP at the beginning of the game. Insane. Because insane. It's from inside. Oh, he's... Oh! He is not getting detected. Interesting. Oh, that guy was behind the rock. That's why. He is an expert at knowing when he's going to get detected or not. Now, he made, I think, he took a calculated risk shooting that Cromwell. Was it a Cromwell at the beginning? I think he took a calculated risk. He wanted to empty his full clip, but he came under fire. He lost half his HP. And then he lost a little bit more based on a blind shot. And now he's only got 212 HP. But like I said, it will become obvious to you at the end of the video why I call him the expert. Little French tank. And I've already spoken with Pierre. And I told him, Pierre, we're going to feature a French tank today. And I don't want you calling. Because nobody wants to hear the Frenchman complain. Maybe I'm wrong. How is that? How did those shots hit? I didn't even see the full track wheel from behind the rock there. I saw barely an outline. I guess Yuri said there was pixel. So, watching this guy play today, I think... disregard the fact of whether you like this tank or not. Because I think what some people do, I don't like this tank, I don't want to use this. I like this tank. Regardless of, I'm asking you to ignore the tank that he's playing and concentrate on the bush mechanics he's using, because you can do this with any tank with some good intrinsic... Can you take him out? With some good intrinsic concealment values, right? A fast tank that can reposition, and a tank that benefits from bush mechanics. Now, what does that mean? What is a tank that can benefit from bush mechanics, Claus? Well, the bushes have a certain amount of concealment value. Like this bush line is a very good bush line. It's Wargaming models its bushes individually. Each bush has a different concealment factor. And I believe those numbers range from 5% to 50%. I think. I looked at a spreadsheet once. That had all the bushes. And he's spotted now, and he's taken a calculated risk. That's very good. He emptied his full clip. So there's some 5% bushes, and there's some 50%. It might 25 or I believe 50% bushes. I may be wrong about the number, but they're all different, right? Like this little bush here. That could be a 50% bush, but it's not very big. So if you're in an IS-7, it's not going to hide you. But if you're in a Manticore, if you can get all your the four corners of your tank and the top of the turret, the they're not viewports. They're the opposite of viewports. They're detection ports. Right? You detect people from your viewport. So imagine a laser beam coming out of your viewport. And if your laser beam hits any of the detection ports on the tank you're trying to spot, you will see him. And that is the four corners and I think something on top. Right? So if a tank is in the bush but his right track wheel is sticking out of the bush, and your viewport, you could draw a laser beam to that track, you detect them, even though most of his tank's in the bush. Right? If you're on the other side of the bush, so his track wheel is sticking out, but it's sticking out on the other side of the bush conceals them. And don't worry, we have a long time to discuss because this guy's just getting started, okay? Vegan Hannibal aces the tank with 3,184 damage and 2 kills. So if we continue our discussion here, if a laser beam emitted... So let's continue our discussion here. So a laser beam, or line of sight, emitted from your viewport, if it has direct line of sight to any of the detection ports on the enemy tanks that you're trying to detect, then you can see them. And sometimes you can see them and they can't see you. If just their track wheel is sticking out behind a house, you see the track wheel from your viewport, you've detected them. But maybe they're behind the house and you've detected them, they can't see you because their viewport is not on their track wheel. It's usually on top of your turret, and in this game it doesn't matter which way you're looking. It does when you're playing that silly mode. What is it called? What is it called? Where the last tank standing mode, whatever that dumb mode is that we play sometimes. The stupid mode, where the tank gets like special powers and the rolling ball chases you, and it matters which way you're looking, right? If you're looking this way and there's an enemy behind you, you don't see them because your viewport they allot a cone, the cone of view. Well, I guess it's more realistic because if it's the commander looking out the viewport, he's only looking in one direction. But in this game, it's all around you, right? You can see behind you and in front of you, and so all 360 degrees around you. Laser beam emanated from your viewport detects any of the detection ports on the enemy tanks, and there'd be one on the rear left, rear right, front left, top of the turret. There's nodes. They call them nodes, I guess. If you have direct line of sight on any of those nodes, you detect the tank. But if there's a bush in between, if the bush cuts off that line of sight, not even just a bush, what Wargaming models as a bush, a leaf. And as we discovered on some maps, when there's a tree with a bushy top, sometimes the trunk is modeled as, sometimes that tree is modeled as a rectangle, and the trunk provides just as much concealment as the bush on the top. You don't believe me? There's a couple of trees that are modeled like that in Manhattan Line. Is that the name of the map? Manhattan Line? And we tested them in the training room. Anyway, so getting back to the discussion. Some bushes are really good. Let's say a 25% bush. If you can hide all your detection ports, if you're a small tank and you can hide all those detection ports in a 25% bush, then you have the intrinsic value of your concealment, which in this thing, stationary or on the move, is probably close to 50%. Plus 25% for the bush. That's 75%. You're almost invisible. I think that the biggest bushes are, or the bushiest bushes are 50%. So imagine a manticore with 50% concealment, hidden completely in a bush that has 50% concealment. That's 100%. You're basically not going to get detected unless someone proxy spots you. But, you know, people now have commander's vision systems, so that decreases things a bit. But still, some bushes are so good that you pretty much have to be proxy spotted to get detected, even by the most powerful setups. Whereas other bushes might only be a 5% bush. And the trouble is you don't know which one's which. because they don't make, you know, a 5% bush doesn't look that much different than a 25% bush in this game. It just doesn't. And some really good bushes don't look that good. Like this little flower shrubbery thing there. How much concealment does that little flower shrubbery have? It has some. It's all modeled, right? What was I getting at? I think I'm just babbling now, but I'm saying, like, this is a... How good is this bush? Let's see if his 6th sense goes off. Okay, this bush is really good. He's backed up. He's made it bushy. If this is a 25% bush, he's backed up and made it bushy. He's got the 25% from that bush is still active because he backed up. You know that, I'm not going to go through all that, right? If the bush is not bushy when he fires his gun, anything within 15 meters of him when he fires his gun loses its concealment. So, right, see, he's close enough that it's transparent. Now if he fires, the concealment on that bush is gone. But if he backs up, and makes it bushy, now he fires and the bush maintains its concealment. See? So if the bush has 25%, it maintains its concealment. He's firing. So it still has 25%. Plus whatever he has while firing. And he probably has 6 or 7% concealment while firing. So that's 25 plus 6 or 7. 30. He still has 30% concealment even while firing when he bushes himself like that. It's incorrect to think that if you bush yourself, you're invisible no matter what. If you bush yourself, like he did, and you fire your gun, the bush still holds its concealment value. Like right now, he's going to back up and he's going to shoot. But he can still get spotted. Because he's shooting, he might have 7-8% concealment, plus the bush. If that enemy has enough view range you decrease that view range by the 25% plus the 7%. If he still has enough, he might get spotted. Right? It just gives him less chance of being spotted. But if he's stationary in the bush, it doesn't fire, then it's a really good bush. Then there is no tank in the game that can spot you unless it gets really, really close. Sometimes proxy spotting range. So I guess the fence does not provide any concealment. So even if you don't like the tank, long story short, pay particular attention to how he uses the bushes. Just pay particular attention to that because... And how he... Oh, that... Oh, beautiful. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And he just spotted the M44. Whoa! And here comes the talk. Here comes... Oh, oh, oh. And this is... You didn't see that coming. But I think he's going to say ammunition empty. Defeat, but he aced the tank. He did 3,550, carrying almost a collection of simpletons. Now, guys, I think he ran out of ammo in that game, but if he had an extra 20 shells, and he noticed that SPG, if he noticed that SPG when he drove around that house and took evasive action, and had 20 more shells, I think he would have won that game. Because he would have taken that SPG out, and would have taken the other SPG out, and then played the long game with the top. That's unfortunate. How would you like to ace your tank on a loss after shooting all your ammo? Now, he's an expert. And he, he doesn't just hide. He's like, okay, he's ready to fire. Oh, you missed. This is a formidable tank to fight. A little bit of glitching going on here. I think this is his computer. Boom. Target released. Now, he comes out of it relatively unscathed. Relatively unscathed. Now, this is a replay glitch. Probably this is what it looked like when he was playing his game, because he's only showing 64, 56 ping, so... And I know this because I've started this. I started it a couple of times to say, well, is something wrong with my computer? Is it my computer that's doing this? Is There's another something running and there wasn't. If I play this 7 times, I didn't play it 7 times. I played it 3 times. There was a little bit of glitching going on. I couldn't get rid of it, so you're watching it with that little glitch. Is he gonna jump off? I would turn around. He doesn't turn around. Okay, good. He didn't fall off either. Hit the track wheel? Yes. Somehow he snapped it. A whole lot of snapping going on. Now he's taking the hill. Look at his team has complete control of the hill. They got the Luxes. They've got everybody up here. And there's one of those Mitsu 108. He's going to let that guy commit, and then he's going to farm. But this guy is the guy with the big gun. Remember I told you? Didn't I do a video on this one already? And I think you can shoot him anywhere. And that guy has like a 25-second aim time. No hope in hell that he could turn around and snap him. But I guess if he RNG snapped him, he would have taken 350 of your HP. Now this is close. Let's see where he goes now. He's going to make this guy pay. Yeah. Oh, he missed. And he gets spotted. He's spotted. Yeah. Spotted. And the Matilda. Oh, spotted by Jackson, taking a calculated risk. Yeah, he's proxy spotted the whole time by that T-34 1941. You notice that, guys? He was using the bush there, but he was spotted before he even fired his gun because he was proxy spotted. With that bush, he would have been safe until he fired, but there was someone there proxy spotting him. And the Matilda is shot you again and again and again and again. Where is that Matilda? Boy, another. Is it going to be another loss? He's waiting to reload. Can he feather it through here? This is he only got a small window. He is snapping these shots. It's a little bit crazy here. Oh! Now his Churchill 3 is upset at him because he sees a light tank. What is he doing? The Churchill 3 is upset because the Churchill 3 doesn't understand how this game works. And he doesn't understand that this little guy has done 2,500 damage. And it's still going to do more. Oh! You spotted that guy, snapped him. Beautiful. He's got 2 shots left. There's a Matilda. Yes. And the... Oof. I don't know if that went in. 3,000 damage. Isn't that nice? You're up to... On your way to 3,000 damage and your teammate's upset at you. Which just goes to show how little some players' level of understanding is of this game. Like, to be upset at this player. Like, what does he want him to do? Go spot for me? Like, what does he expect? What does the Churchill 3 expect from this AMX 12T? What is it that he wants? It'd be an interesting conversation. You know, if you could have a normal conversation with one of those players, you can't have a normal conversation with one of those players because they're ignorant, right? So if you ask them, what do you want me to do? Like, why are you, what are you upset about? They'll simply, they'll berate your mother or tell you to uninstall or call you, some sort of a disgusting name. Because that's the extent of their intellect and how much their level of understanding. Right? And then they'll think they won the argument. Not that there was an argument, but in their mind, they will think there was an argument and they will think that they taught you a lesson. I showed him. I shot him 3 times even though they removed team damage, and then I pushed them. That showed him. And that's just that's a more statement on Okay, let's do it. Boom, on the move. Wow. This guy's got some good gun handling, boy. And that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough handling this guy. Yeah. There's a little bit of jump. Oh! A little bit of jumping going on. Defeated again, but he aced it. That's 3 aces. 3,580. As a matter of fact, what is the opposite of elite? Well, in this game, the opposite of elite is stock, right? You can elite your tank, or your tank can be stock. So I'd have to say, Churchill 3, your brain is a stock brain. Your behavior indicates that you are of stock mind, not of elite. You're not a Slayer elite. You're a Slayer stock. Or maybe you could change your name to Stock Brain. You have illustrated for everyone on YouTube. Consider yourself featured. Spotted, backed up, used the bushes. And did not get detected the first time. Got detected the second shot because the T-50-2 was in the gap. There was the first shot, the bushes concealed them, that line. Second shot, the T-52, the T-50-2 was further to the right, so there was no bushes in the way. Okay, and here comes a basotto just to get detected so you get shot. That's what you want a TD to do. Is park right behind you. And he's okay. He's thinking, okay, I'm just a light tank. And I know this TD may want this bush. That's fine. He's not an angry player. He said, okay, well, if he wants to be here, that's fine. I don't mind. I'm just going to try not to get, we can both fit. Notice how he's backed up and he's allowed the basotto to have the position. He's a gentleman. But unfortunately, the basotto did not back up before firing. And so he got detected. And the basotto, it has nothing to do with whether it's a light tank or a TD. So hopefully you're gaining that kind of insight. Where is that super chat? He's behind the rock. Now, if he fires here without backing up and bushing himself, he's going to get detected. He didn't. I guess it has everything to do with whether it's a light tank or a or a TD. He should have. But now that he knows he's not, he's got some pretty good concealment after firing. Because this bush would not maintain its concealment, and the OI was in that other bush, and it shouldn't be carrying its concealment, so it kind of doesn't make sense that the OI would not detect him. Unless the OI, the only reason it would work is how far behind the bush is the OI. And now we got the, okay, now I see how he got detected that time? So this is what happened. The first time he fired his clip and the OI did not detect him is because the OI made himself blind. The OI was backed up from his own bush. This AMX did not use the bush mechanic of his, now he's using the bush mechanic of his bush, and he will not get detected. See? He's not going to get detected. But he was right in his bush. So when he fired his gun, his bush, this one, lost its concealment. But the OI, stupidly, or maybe just by fluke, was not right in his bush. He was behind his bush. He was at least 15 meters behind his bush. So from the OI's perspective, his bush would have been bushy. Maybe he was just driving up, he just got there. Or, was approaching the bush when this AMX shot him. So the AMX's bush lost its concealment. So it provided no concealment. He was firing, so he might have had 7% concealment, which means the OI would have detected him. But the OI was behind his bush, the bush closest to him. So the bush in front of the OI provided 25% concealment. Poor OI blinded himself. Then the second time he did it again, but the OI had moved closer to the bush. So he could see through his own bush. So the bushes are not one way. Or maybe they are one way. So you can see through your bush. how do you describe it without messing it up? He could see the OI, even though the OI was behind his bush by more than 15 meters, because the OI doesn't have any concealment at all. So you take the 25% of the bush, and the OI's concealment, which is like almost zero. The OI had 25% plus a little. The OI had 27% concealment. He was behind his bush. But this guy has such good view range that he still saw the OI. Okay? But the OI has to look through that bush that he was 15 meters from, so it's 25% concealment, plus this guy's concealment, which is about more, and he didn't have the view range to cut through that. So long story short, it's the bush mechanics. And he did a good job. He kind of usually takes a shot and backs up, thinking, "Well, am I going to get spotted?" And then when he realizes he's not, then he goes and pumps his whole clip. So very nicely done. Poor OI. Be careful you don't blind yourself when you're trying to, someone's shooting you. If you're getting blind shot, here's the thing: if you're getting blind shot and there's no way you can detect them, and you got no other hope in hell, you don't have teammates, like near the end of the game, sometimes the best thing to do, if you got good armor and lots of HP, is surge forward until you spot them. Otherwise, they're just going to farm you, right? I've seen some really good players in some fast armor tanks like the Object 277 near the end of the game. Object 277 is kind of in a position, and there's a light tank, takes a couple of blind shots at him, and it's 1v1. Well, a smart Object 277 player just floors it straight in the direction that he's being shot from. It just goes. He says, "Yeah, go ahead. You're going to get 3, 4, 5 shots, and then I'm going to spot you." And then once he's spotted, then you can shoot back. And this guy, I think the shots are getting absorbed. That one didn't go through. But anyways, I'm not the expert. He's the expert. You should get him to explain it to you. I think I explained that properly. I got a little fumbled there, but you understand what I'm saying, right? There was a bush in play there because the OI was 15 meters behind the bush. So it was affecting the OI's view range, and it was affecting this guy's view range. This guy had enough to spot the OI, and the OI didn't have enough to spot him. Even with him firing. So, the expert is having all these close games. Don't fall off the cliff. 3 games, 3 aces. And we're watching 4 games today. How's that? Like, how about them apples? The vegan Hannibal. And were these games played back to back? I didn't check the time on the replays, but they were played close together. And this guy's working on his 3rd mark, I guess. And he's having consistently good results. And at this rate, he should have no problem getting his 3rd mark of excellence. Now he's got permission to engage. Boom. Whoa, that was... Oh, and he knows he has to get into position so that the Lukes, or is it the Super Chaffee, cannot shoot him. He's got 2 shots. He doesn't go for the reload because he's just got 1 enemy here. Boom. Boy, if you know what the gun handling on this tank is, you'd be surprised on some of his shots. He's either getting really lucky or he's got some really good equipment on this tank, or a little bit of both. Because trying to hit people on the move with this tank it's questionable whether you can do it consistently. Now, 2 of the last known positions we know where they are, the Churchill and the 40 TP. So he comes across a hapless AFK Muppet, and there's a little farming going on now. Right? Look how these shots are bullseyes. Very good Sigma. Well, except for that one. Those are 4 shots, and Wargaming said on the 4th shot that you should, that it should We'll put a little bit of Sigma on fourth shot. Fully aimed, all of them. That one wasn't fully aimed. Why would you speed your shot up? You got all the time in the world, buddy. And I think you flubbed. You wasted 2 shots there. You only got 1 shot left. Why don't you position yourself so you're not at an angle on him? And carefully aim all your shots, because you're going to run out of ammo. And I think the Sigma shot he couldn't help, but the next 2, the first 2 shots he took, I think he probably doesn't realize that he's only got 1 shell left. Because he gave away some damage there. And that's it. Now, is he going to think he's got shots? No, he knows that. He's running away. He knows he doesn't have any more shots. Why not go cap? He's going to light him for his team. Or if he zooms in like he's going to shoot. Watch, guys. Let's see. Does he know? Or what? Let's see. He knows. He'd be aiming. If he thought if he thought that he still had a shot, he'd be aiming. But he realizes he doesn't. And he's just watching. And there he is. The expert. As I introduced him. 4 ace tanker games in a row. And he ends up again on top with consistently over 3,000 damage. Spamming APCR like a mofo. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I will catch you on the next one.